Okay, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. 69 degrees here in LJ, Georgia, 8:28 in the morning. Josh Senda put up our phone number there so people can see our number, our email address, and how you can contact the show and follow us on social media. Now, that being said, it's 6/6/2019. And it's 6/6/2019, D-Day remembrance here. And I just watched the president, the entire ceremony, live this morning, about 5:30 this morning. I got up and watched it live. Wanted to hear the speech. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into it. My first 20 minutes, I said I was not going to be political, and people are going to claim I was still political because I said I understood the red hat, which I really don't care what people think where that's concerned. But let's get political now. So I got up this morning and I'm watching all the networks, right? I'm watching the networks and, and I'm looking at, all right, they're coming in. So let's just go with number 23. Whenever you get it, put 23 up. 21, 23, 20. 21, or 23. I'd like 23 first if you got it. All right. So the ceremony is getting ready to start, and we're getting ready to have the service and celebrating the living veterans in this country and honoring the fallen heroes. And celebrating our heroes. And here's Don and Eric, right? Here's Don and Eric. They got a picture of Don and Eric. There's Steve Mnuchin in front of him. The mustache was there. So MSNBC, even CNN did this. They're doing pregame, okay? Oh, yeah, they're pregame. And they're hoping it's not a day where the president can back. They're hoping it's a day where the president can back off Mexico and tariffs and back off, some of the other things that are going on in the world and in our country. They're basically pre-gaming this, hoping that the buffoon that they feel is their president of the United States, they feel Donald J. Trump, just a total buffoon, just illiterate, stupid. His reading list includes the back of cereal boxes like Cheerios and Trix and Frankenberry, and that's the extent of his reading list. I'm not joking. I mean, these people they're putting together panels to look at his mental health. We know he doesn't read. They'll say that all the time. We know he doesn't read. So they feel that we have the biggest buffoon ever in history as President of the United States. So they're pre-gaming that. Now, President and the First Lady go over to the UK this week. Give me 13. Here's a group of people, whether they like Donald Trump or not, they don't think he's a buffoon. Here's a group of people that realize they've been caught. Trudeau from Canada. Trudeau. Theresa May is resigning in a couple days. Macron has to get home so he could spend the weekend in hiding from the yellow vests. Angela Merkel absolutely hates the Donald. Donald Trump loves his country so much he's actually inspired people around the world to love theirs. I swear to God. And there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, first of all, I believe in God. Not a God. God. Period. Not Allah, not Buddha, not some fat-bellied boy, whatever his name is, Hubba Bubba, whatever. God. Period. Okay? And wherever God determined you were going to be born into this world, I mean, hey, wherever you're at, that's where you should love, and that's where you should do everything you can to make that country the greatest country on earth. Fine, I get it. But see, here's what's happened And here's what Donald Trump did, is he's inspired you and I. He has built on our love for our country. He has said America first so many times. There's actually people in Germany that he has talked about immigration. He has talked about a country with no borders is no country at all. And they hate it because guess what? The man that loves his country has inspired people around the world to love their own. They're waking up and saying the EU, open borders, look at what has happened to our country. For how long has our despicable media tried to make it look like that Donald Trump was anti-ally? No, he's American first. He persevered. He went through, just think, if we had an American president that attempted what Donald Trump has attempted and gave up, has attempted what Donald Trump attempted and was told on a daily basis he couldn't do it. And he was terrible. And our country was terrible because we didn't kiss Canada's ass, kiss Merkel's ass, kiss Macron's ass. Go around the world ass kissing, a.k.a. bowing down, apologizing. What if it wasn't Donald Trump to persevere? The Secretary General of NATO, what's his name? Sergey? Is it Sergey? I don't know. But the Secretary General of NATO has come to America, addressed Congress. He's come to America. He's been on the talk shows, the news shows. And he said President Trump has never given him the impression that he wanted to end NATO. President Trump has never given him the impression that he did not support the allies. President Trump has never implied that to him whatsoever. If you watch video of the UN Secretary General and the President, oh man, he just follows Donald along like it's the greatest thing in the world. The media can't stand it. The Secretary General of NATO has come and reported multiple times that military spending of these other EU countries and these other NATO countries is up. That Trump said, hey, you're supposed to be spending 2% of your military on NATO. It's time to pay the bill. He called him out. You know, here's the thing. Here's what really jerked these people's chain. You remember back in the day when we wrote checks? Okay, I mean, seriously. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know who writes checks anymore, but we wrote checks, right? You remember, at the Chinese restaurant or whatever, where, the guy had all the checks taped up to the wall that were bad? And if you didn't want your check when you were checking out, if you didn't want to see your name up there in a bad check, you didn't write one. Or you was going to put it up there. Hey, if you know this guy, tell him his check's hanging up there. And then you call the guy and you say, hey, I hear my check's on the wall of your restaurant. Yeah, it's bad. Well, I want to take it down. Pay it, buddy, and I'll take it down. That's all Donald Trump did in simple terms, is take a notepad and put up there where all their checks were bad. And they didn't like it. They got highlighted at the local restaurant. Everybody in the world was able to see, oh, I can see your country is not paying its NATO bill. I can see that. How can you see that? Because Donald's tweeted it out 92 times in 2 weeks. They don't know what to do, folks. They don't know what to do. Do you know why the man is seated next to the Queen? Huh? How come how come Macron's not next to the Queen? How come Trudeau up there for Canada, Justin, is not seated next to the Queen? How come Angela's not seated? Donald J. Trump. The UK media wrote a couple things. Our media trashed our president so bad, went on and on how much this Queen hates Donald J. Trump. Nowhere near true. Nowhere near true. The Queen does not hate the Donald. The Queen looks at the Donald and says, you know what? The last time I seen a setup like that, I know I'm 93, but the last time, Donald, I saw a set like that, they were on Winston Churchill. I got to give it to you, Donald. I know you don't like what I said. I don't care. Because our media has done every single thing to trash this man and his wife, our First Lady. But guess what? They can't on this trip. They can't. They're spitting their heads off. The only thing they know to do is hold a meeting yesterday. They can't wait to get him home because Nancy wants to put him in prison. The Speaker of the House of the United States of America. One more time for you people out there in the far back row that couldn't hear. The Speaker of the House of Representatives of the United States of America, while our president's on foreign soil, and while our president is representing in the best way we could possibly ask for, through strength, with our allies, the Speaker of the House says she wants to put him in prison. Well, Nancy, your ass couldn't wait for him to at least get home to tell him? Well, you going to meet him at the airport? Comes off Air Force One. Sorry, sir. We have a warrant for your arrest. What the hell's wrong with you damn people? What the hell is wrong with you damn? Everybody in America, you should go out today and anybody you see it's a Democrat. And you should look at them and say, the Speaker of the House of the United States, don't say Democrat. You don't even say Democrat or Republican. You say the Speaker of the House of the United States of America, while the President of the United States of America is meeting and honoring our heroes in Europe, said she wants to put him in prison. That's just bad. That's all they got. Now, let me tell you what's getting ready to happen, okay? So as I'm listening to the play-by-play, just give me give me this one right here. So they lay the reef, number 4, okay? Now, Donald Trump said, God bless our allies. Donald Trump said, God bless our allies. Donald Trump said, God bless America. They are doing right now, wait for it, ready? They're so disgusting. The media right this minute, they're talking about how they brought Donald Trump around. The only way to call this trip successful, okay, because they don't know what to do with it, all right? Because the American people, I don't want to say they realized, but if you and I out here, first of all, let me tell you who I don't want to know. I don't want to know you. I know you say sometimes I say ugly stuff. I don't want to know you if you did not understand the context that Donald Trump used the word nasty, in what context it was used. I don't want to know you because you're too far gone. You're Looney Tunes, okay? You're totally out of there. You're sanitarium headed for it. That's your next stop. You're crazy as hell. That's right. I don't care. I don't care. If you did not understand the tense and the way that Donald Trump used nasty when it comes to Princess Markle or whatever her name is, you are bonkers, Looney Tunes. There's no coming back, baby. Cut that fish. Cut bait and run. Whatever they say. And see, the media tried to sell you and me on this terrible despicable display of disastrous etiquette. Donald Trump had blown all etiquette. While we were just thinking he'd go to Europe and he would drink tea, he wouldn't do this when he drank tea, and he'd walk in front of the Queen, and he would show the Queen, hey, you want to send out a quick tweet? We just thought this Beverly Boom Manhattan idiot, okay? Oliver. We thought Oliver from Manhattan that moved out to Green Acres because he wanted to farm would just blow. I mean, the days leading up, the plane landed. The Air Force One, the door was open. I was watching live. We're waiting for our president, right? And on the bottom of the screen, I'll pull him up. Nasty. President said nasty. I tell you what, America, Nancy Pelosi's in a mess. The Democrats are in a mess. Heads are spinning off. They don't know what to do. The president see, these are the allies that Donald Trump turned his back on. You see, we did 2.5 years. Donald Trump over there in Israel with Netanyahu. Donald Trump over there in Saudi Arabia. Not asking why Khashoggi, went through the meat market and got chopped up. Sorry, that's what they say happened. Donald Trump, Saudi Arabia. Donald Trump meeting with that dictator, Kim Jong-un. Donald Trump in Japan. Donald Trump he'll talk to Vladimir, but not our allies. He has drove a wedge through our allies. He has hurt our standing with our allies. Another lie. Another lie. On a mountain of lies they have told you in 2 years about what's going on. Lies, Russian collusion, lies of who actually the criminals are. Not even bringing up Hillary, Strzok, Steele, the dossier, lies about the FISA court. Robert Mueller, lies. They tried to sell you lies. They're selling you lies about the tariffs. They don't know jack about how an economy works. They know nothing. These senators, for the most part, and representatives have never had a damn job in their life. They do not know anything about business. Lies. You know, the only thing they know about business is the people that contribute to them so they can get laws written that will benefit their business. These dumbasses. Lies. All lies. Here is one of the biggest ones you've been told for over 2 years. Remember the caravans before the election? Donald Trump was lying. Now it's a crisis. All lies from this media. Nonstop. And our allies. Remember over 2 years. Oh my God. Minka Brzezinski. Oh my God. He's not kissing the man boy's ass, Macron. Macron. Right? Oh. We're so sorry, Macron. Oh, Angela, we're so sorry. Donald said that. Oh, we're so sorry. Let me tell you something. When they tried to sell the American people in the last week that Donald Trump used nasty, and it didn't play, and it got out there, it became a joke to the average American people. You know it, and I know it. And now they got to sell them same people that it's time to impeach. Now they got to sell the same people that you got to put this guy in prison after this most successful foreign trip with who else? Our allies, our strongest allies. Because the man that loved his country inspired others to love their country. They don't know what to do. Now, the media this morning, and I'm going to take a break, the media this morning has started trying to sell this successful European trip that they brought Donald around. Okay? Now, I don't know who all's in the group, so let's just do this. Let's go to number 13. The media is trying to sell the narrative today that they can't say it's not a successful trip. Let's go with that. They cannot say in any way whatsoever that this entire trip by the President and First Lady is an amazing success. So yesterday he met with the Prime Minister of Ireland, right? Well, they couldn't say that. They had to say, oh, by the way, he's over there to check on his golf course. The attacks on and on didn't work. So now he's coming home. They're in the newsroom saying, we've got to accept the success of this trip with our allies. What do? I'll tell you what we'll do. He learned from us. We taught him. We brought him around. They're going to say that group right there, that group brought Donald Trump around. Sorry. Donald Trump brought the people of those countries around. Donald Trump is liked by most people in Europe. The lies they tell you, the lies. In the European Union, they just don't want to lose their gravy train and their free lunch. Brexit is getting ready to be over. We are going to be the allies to the Queen there and the UK that we promised. And we're going to cut a trade deal to where to hell with the EU. And you know what? UK, you're going to be all right because Donald's a good guy, good president, loves his country, and he's okay that you love yours. Oh, by the way, we're not a piggy bank anymore. That burns the media up. We are not the world's piggy bank. Right? There's a good picture to explain it. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to take a brief break. We're going to be right back.